Every morning begins the same way for most of us. The alarm rings. Our hands reach for the phone almost before our eyes are open, and a flood of messages, news, and unfinished plans rushes into the mind. Before we even get out of bed, the day already feels heavy. We hurry to prepare, we eat without tasting, we travel without seeing, and by the time we arrive at work or school, the body may be there, but the mind is somewhere else, stuck in yesterday's worries or tomorrow's tasks. It is as if we are always living one step ahead of the present moment, always chasing something that keeps moving away. This is the ordinary condition of the modern world. Everything pulls our attention outward. Notifications flash on our screens, advertisements call our names. Expectations from others weigh on us. The result is a kind of silent exhaustion, not just in the body but in the mind itself. We long for peace, yet the more we try to control or escape our thoughts, the louder they seem to become. We wait for the weekend, for the holiday, for the perfect situation to finally rest, but that rest never truly comes because the unrest is inside us. Mindfulness is the art of turning back. It is the gentle ability to pause and recognize what is happening right now without trying to change it. Instead of being swept away by thoughts, we notice that thinking is happening. Instead of reacting to emotions, we become aware that feeling is arising. This awareness itself is the beginning of calm. It does not demand that we fix our life. It simply invites us to see it clearly. The moment we are truly aware, even for a few breaths, the noise in the mind begins to lose its power. In ancient times, those who practiced this way discovered that peace does not come from the outside world, but from knowing the nature of our own mind. When we know what is happening as it happens, we stop being pushed and pulled by it. The breath, the body, the passing sounds, all become teachers reminding us to return to what is real. We begin to see that calm is not a gift we have to earn, nor a special state that only appears in silence. Calm is always present underneath the movement of life. Mindfulness is how we uncover it. You do not need to go to a quiet mountain or join a long retreat to begin. You can practice anywhere, sitting in a bus, waiting in line, walking down the street. The secret is not the place, but the quality of presence you bring to the moment. Even 10 minutes a day of mindful awareness can change the way you experience your entire life. It is like slowly tuning an instrument that has been out of balance for years. Each breath brings you closer to harmony. In this video, we will explore a simple 10-minute practice designed to help you reconnect with calm wherever you are. There will be no difficult words, no complex theories, only a gentle journey back to the present. All you need is your own breath, your own attention, and a willingness to be here. The calm you are searching for is not far away. It is waiting quietly inside this very moment. Many people think mindfulness means to focus hard, to block out distractions, or to control the mind until it becomes quiet. But that is not what true mindfulness is. Real mindfulness is not about forcing the mind into silence. It is about learning to see the noise clearly, to understand it, and to stop being its prisoner. You do not have to fight your thoughts to be free from them. You only need to know that they are thoughts, not facts, not who you are. When you sit quietly and watch the breath, for a moment you may notice how restless the mind really is. Thoughts jump from one thing to another: memories, plans, regrets, worries. The more you try to stop them, the stronger they push back. But if you simply observe them, something different happens. You begin to see that thoughts are like clouds drifting across the sky. They come, they change, and they disappear on their own. The sky does not chase the clouds. It just allows them to pass. Mindfulness is like that sky, open, steady, untroubled by what moves through it. Attention and awareness are not the same. Attention is when you focus on a single thing, like watching your breath or listening to one sound. Awareness is the larger space that knows attention is happening. When you practice mindfulness, you are training this awareness, the part of you that can notice without judging. This awareness is already peaceful, even when everything else feels chaotic. You do not have to create it. You only need to remember it. There is a quiet strength in simply observing. When you notice anger rising, mindfulness allows you to see it before it takes over. When sadness appears, you can feel it without drowning in it. The power of mindfulness is not in controlling emotions, but in understanding them. as passing events. It teaches us to stay with experience just as it is, without adding the heavy story of this should not be happening. Through that gentle seeing, suffering begins to soften. The beauty of this practice is that it can be done anywhere, at any moment. You can be mindful while washing dishes, feeling the warm water and the sound of it splashing. You can be mindful while walking, feeling each step touching the earth. You can even be mindful while talking with someone, truly hearing their words instead of waiting for your turn to respond. In every action, there is a chance to be awake. Mindfulness also changes how we relate to time. Usually, the mind lives in two places that do not exist, the past and the future. It replays old mistakes or imagines what might go wrong tomorrow. Rarely does it rest in the only place where life actually happens, the present. When mindfulness grows, the past begins to lose its weight, and the future stops pulling so hard. You start to feel the simple freshness of now, the sound of the wind, the movement of the breath, the steady beating of the heart. You do not need to sit like a monk or close your eyes for hours. You only need to stop running for a few breaths and look inward. When you do, you will notice that calm was never gone. It was just hidden beneath layers of hurry and thought. Every moment of awareness is a step back home. And with each step, you discover that peace is not something you have to chase. It is what remains when you stop chasing anything at all. That is the real meaning of mindfulness. It is not a skill to master, but a way of being alive. It is the art of meeting life exactly as it is, breath by breath, without pretending, without resistance. It is the gentle return to the natural state of the mind, clear, aware, and quietly at ease. Now that we have understood what mindfulness truly means, let us begin the simple practice. You do not need a perfect place or a silent room. You only need your body, your breath, and your willingness to be present. This is not a performance or a test. There is nothing to achieve, nowhere to reach. The next 10 minutes are simply a time to be with yourself, to let life slow down, to remember that peace is already within you. Find a comfortable position. You can sit on a chair, on the floor, or even stand if you wish. The goal is not to sit like a statue, but to feel stable and relaxed. Allow your spine to rise naturally, not stiff but alive, like a tree that bends gently with the wind. Let your hands rest where they feel at ease. Close your eyes if it helps, or soften your gaze. Now, take a deep breath in, slowly, and exhale fully. Do not rush. Let the breath come and go on its own. Feel the air entering your body, bringing life, and leaving again, carrying away tension. Begin to notice the weight of your body on the ground or chair. Feel the contact between your feet and the floor, your back and the seat. Feel gravity holding you safely, quietly. You do not have to hold yourself up. The earth is already supporting you. Let that sense of support sink in, and allow the body to soften around it. There is no need to control your posture. Just sit and feel what it is like to be here, now. As you breathe naturally, bring your attention to the sensation of breathing. Feel the gentle movement of the abdomen rising and falling, or the cool air passing through the nostrils as you inhale and the warm air as you exhale. There is no need to count, no need to fix anything. Simply watch. The breath is happening by itself. It has been doing this your whole life. Let it teach you how to relax into the rhythm of being alive. Soon, you may notice that the mind begins to wander. It will start thinking about what you have to do later, what someone said yesterday, or what might happen tomorrow. That is completely normal. The mind is like a puppy. It runs off the moment you stop watching. Do not be angry at it. Just notice that it has wandered and gently bring it back to the breath. Every time you return, you are strengthening mindfulness. The act of coming back is the practice. It does not matter how many times the mind leaves. What matters is that you return with kindness. After a few minutes, allow your awareness to widen a little. Feel the sounds around you. Maybe the hum of traffic, birds singing, wind moving through the leaves, or even distant voices. Notice them without trying to name them or push them away. Let them come and go as they please. Sounds are part of this moment too. They rise and fall just like the breath. See if you can hold everything in one field of awareness. The breath, the sounds, the body sitting here, without focusing too tightly on any of them. Now turn your attention inward again and observe your mind. Thoughts might appear. Maybe emotions too. Calmness, boredom, irritation, peace. Whatever arises, just notice it. You are not the thought. You are the awareness that sees the thought. You do not have to fight it or follow it. Just observe it passing through, like leaves floating on a stream. When you see a thought and know it is only a thought, you are free from its control. If emotions appear, welcome them with the same gentle attitude. Feelings are not enemies. They are messages from the heart that come and go. If you feel joy, let it flow. If you feel sadness, let it be. Everything that arises will also fade, and the awareness that watches remains still. This simple recognition is where true peace begins. As the final minutes approach, let go of all effort. Stop trying to meditate well. Stop trying to control the breath. Let everything be exactly as it is. Feel the whole body breathing naturally. Feel the ground beneath you, the air around you, the stillness inside you. In this quiet space, there is nothing missing. There is nothing wrong. There is only this moment, alive and complete. Before ending, take one slow, deep breath in and release it gently. Open your eyes if they were closed. Notice the light, the sounds, the world waiting for you. But now you are different. The same world, the same life, but your presence has deepened. You have touched a small but real silence within yourself. Remember, this silence is not created by the practice. It has always been there, hidden beneath the noise. What you did in these 10 minutes was simply uncover it. You can return to this space anytime, while waiting at a red light, before a meeting, or before sleep. The more often you practice, the easier it becomes to find calm in the middle of daily life. 10 minutes a day is enough to remind you that peace is not something far away. It is right here, as close as your next breath, waiting for you to remember it. After finishing a 10-minute practice, many people feel peaceful for a while, but as soon as they step back into daily life, the old rush returns. The phone rings, traffic noise fills the air. Someone says something unpleasant, and the calm seems to disappear. Yet mindfulness is not meant to live only in quiet moments. It is not a practice we leave on the meditation cushion. It is a way of being that can follow us through every hour of the day, if we learn how to carry it gently. The real purpose of meditation is not to escape the world, but to wake up inside it. The key is to see ordinary activities as opportunities for awareness. You can begin with simple things. When you wake up in the morning, instead of grabbing the phone immediately, pause for one breath. Feel the freshness of waking. Notice the air touching your skin, the light entering the room, the sound of the world beginning again. That single moment of presence sets the tone for the day. While brushing your teeth, feel the movement of your hand, the taste of water, the coolness of the air. There is nothing mystical in this, just the direct experience of being alive. When you eat, try to really eat. Most of the time we chew while thinking, scrolling, or talking. We taste only half of what we put in our mouth because the mind is somewhere else. Slow down. Notice the smell, the texture, the warmth or coolness of each bite. Be aware of gratitude. The fact that this food came from rain, sun, soil, and countless hands. Eating with mindfulness turns a simple meal into an act of connection. The mind becomes calm not because of special food, but because it has stopped running away from the moment. You can walk mindfully too. Whether it is from the house to the car or through a busy street, let each step be felt. Notice the pressure of your foot touching the ground, the rhythm of your pace, the balance of your body. Walk as if you are fully arriving with every step. You will realize that peace is not somewhere to reach. It is under your feet. Even in the middle of noise, the awareness that observes it can remain still. At work, mindfulness helps you see how often stress is created by resistance. We hurry not only because there is much to do, but because the mind keeps saying, I must finish quickly, I don't have time. Try to bring one conscious breath into each new task. When typing an email, feel your fingers move on the keys. When listening to someone speak, truly listen instead of planning your reply. Presence gives depth to the simplest actions. When you do one thing with full attention, it carries a quiet joy that distraction can never give. Mindfulness also transforms how we deal with people. Often we hear others through the filter of our opinions or emotions. When you practice awareness during conversations, you begin to notice small things, the tone of voice, the pause between words, the feeling behind what is said. You respond more slowly, more kindly, because you are truly there. A mindful moment before speaking can prevent hours of regret later. This kind of awareness builds real connection. It replaces reaction with understanding. Over time, mindfulness spreads naturally into everything. You remember to breathe before answering a difficult call, to relax your shoulders. When tension rises, to look up from the screen and see the sky. Life does not become easier, but it becomes clearer. You no longer feel like a leaf blown by every thought and emotion. You start to sense a quiet center that moves with you everywhere. From that center, decisions become wiser and emotions lose their sharp edge. Some days will feel busy, and you may forget to be mindful at all. That is normal. The mind forgets, and then it remembers again. Each time you remember, that is already mindfulness returning. Do not turn the practice into another thing to judge yourself for. Mindfulness grows best in kindness, not in pressure. Treat every breath as a new beginning. No matter how distracted you have been, one conscious breath brings you back to now. When mindfulness becomes part of daily living, it changes how you see success and happiness. You begin to realize that true calm is not found by fixing everything around you, but by being fully awake to what is already here. You still work, love, and struggle like anyone else, but the way you move through it all is softer. The noise of the world remains, yet inside, a gentle silence watches. You understand that peace was never something to reach at the end of a long journey. It is the quiet awareness that walks with you, step by step, through every ordinary day. When you finally sit quietly after a day of movement, you might notice that even though the world around you keeps spinning, something inside you has become still. This stillness is not created by effort. It is not the result of controlling your breath or forcing your thoughts to stop. It is the natural quiet that appears when awareness is present. Calm is not something you make happen. It is what you discover when you stop struggling. The real peace is not the absence of sound, work, or emotion. It is the presence of clarity, the knowing that whatever appears in the mind will also pass away. Think of a lake. When the wind stops, the surface becomes clear and reflects the sky perfectly. But the reflection was always there, only hidden by the movement of waves. In the same way, when the restless mind begins to settle, awareness shines through. It has been there from the beginning, waiting beneath the noise of thoughts, waiting beneath the rush of daily life. Even when emotions rise and fall, this quiet knowing never disappears. It watches joy and sadness with the same gentle eye. It welcomes everything, and because it welcomes everything, it suffers from nothing. This is the real meaning of calm. It is not about escaping pain, nor about living in a state of perfect balance all the time. It is about understanding that everything changes, every sound, every thought, every feeling, every breath. When you see this truth directly, you stop holding on so tightly. You stop chasing happiness as if it were something far away, and you stop running from discomfort as if it were permanent. Awareness brings freedom not by changing what happens, but by changing how you relate to what happens. Even if your practice sometimes feels messy, if you lose focus, get sleepy, or spend the whole time thinking, that is perfectly fine. The act of noticing that you were lost is already mindfulness. Every moment of remembering is a moment of awakening. There is no need to measure progress. There is no finish line. The path of awareness is not a climb toward perfection. It is a continuous return to what has always been here. When you know that, each breath, each step, each smile becomes sacred. In this simple practice, you have learned something that cannot be taken away. You now know how to stop for a few breaths and meet yourself again. You have touched the stillness that does not depend on outer silence. You have learned that peace is not waiting for a better future. It is waiting for you to be fully alive in the present. The mind will still wander, life will still bring challenges, but the difference now is that you know how to come home. Home is not a place. It is this moment, known clearly. Live deeply, accepted completely. As you finish, take a quiet breath and let the body soften. Feel the weight of the air entering and leaving. Feel the ground beneath you, steady and patient. This breath, this heartbeat, this awareness, this is life as it truly is. You do not need to add anything to it. You do not need to take anything away. Simply rest in knowing. From this still point, all action becomes wiser, all words become kinder, all days become lighter. The real calm is not found by running away from the world, but by seeing it with open eyes and a gentle heart. Even in the middle of noise, you can remember that awareness is untouched. Even when storms pass through your life, there remains a space inside you that is never broken. This is what mindfulness reveals, a peace that does not depend on conditions, a freedom that cannot be lost. So wherever you go after this moment, into the noise of the city, into work, into family, into rest, carry this, knowing with you. Let each breath remind you that you are already whole. Let each step remind you that you belong to the present, not to the past or the future. Let each glance at the sky remind you that silence is always near, waiting behind every sound. You do not have to search for calm anymore. You are calm when you are aware. You are home when you are here.